All right, your IGCSE Chemistry Paper 4 is just around the corner, and I know you want to nail it. So in the next few minutes, we're going to break down 5 essential tips. And look, these aren't just random suggestions. These are proven strategies that are going to help you walk into that exam feeling totally prepared, super confident, and ready to grab those top marks. So let's dive right in.
So, feeling the heat a little? Yeah, that's totally normal. The pressure can really start to build up. But hey, that's exactly why we're doing this. We're going to take all that nervous energy and turn it into a solid, strategic game plan. Seriously, you've already done the hard work. You've put in the hours. These tips, they're just here to make sure all that effort really truly pays off. Okay, here's what we've got on top today. First, we'll hit mastering the color tests. Then, we'll move on to connecting the concepts. After that, it's all about why you show you're working. And then, decoding command terms. And we'll wrap things up with a super important one, perfecting significant figures. Let's go. First up, mastering the color tests. Seriously, you gotta love these. Think of these questions as freebies from the examiners. I mean, they're practically giving away marks here, and you definitely want to be ready to scoop them up. It's one of the easiest ways to get your score climbing right from the start. And just look at this. We're talking about 3 to 4 marks, often just for one question. Now, in an exam where literally every single point matters, grabbing these is a no-brainer. It's a fantastic head start and, honestly, a huge confidence boost to get you rolling. So what does the examiner actually want to see? It's simple, really. It's a 3-part checklist. Number 1, you've got to describe the color change. What did you see happen? Number 2, you need to name the final compound. What was created? And finally, number 3, give them a nice, clean, balanced chemical equation. You hit all 3 of those points, and those marks are yours. Simple as that. Okay, so color tests are great for locking in some marks with memorization. But if you're aiming for those top grades, you've got to go deeper. And that brings us to our second tip, connecting the concepts. This is where you show that you don't just know the facts, you actually understand the chemistry. Yeah, we're talking about something called concept clarity. And what that really means is it's not enough to just remember a fact from one chapter and another fact from a different chapter. It's about seeing the big picture. It's like knowing how the rules of chemical bonding from the start of the course directly explain why a certain organic molecule behaves the way it does. You're building this web of knowledge where everything is linked together. And trust me, this is so important. Why? Because the hardest, highest mark questions are designed specifically to test this. They won't just ask about one topic. No way. They'll pull an idea from atomic structure, mix it with some acids and bases, and maybe throw in some organic chemistry for good measure, all in one question. The students who can see those connections and weave them into one solid answer, those are the ones who get the top marks. All right, tip number 3. Now, this one might feel like it belongs in your math class, but I promise you it's absolutely critical in chemistry. And that is, you have to show you're working. Seriously, not showing your steps is like finding a winning lottery ticket and just throwing it in the bin. You're just giving away easy marks. Just think about it this way. Every single line of your calculation is a chance to score a point. So here's how you do it. First, balance one side of the equation, then focus on the big players, like water. Get those balanced. After that, you balance the other side. And the final crucial step, if you end up with decimals, show the step where you convert them to whole numbers. The examiner can give you what's called step marks for each part you get right, even if your final answer is wrong. And a classic place you'll see this is in acid-base questions. You could literally get 1 mark for getting the acid part right, a 2nd mark for the base part, and a 3rd for putting it all together. See, by showing every stage, you're just giving the examiner more and more chances to give you points. It's a win-win. Okay, let's move on to tip number 4, decoding command terms. Now, this one is huge. You could be the world's biggest chemistry genius, but if you misunderstand what the question is actually asking for, you're just not going to get the marks. The secret is all hidden in that first word of the question, the command term. Think of this as your secret decoder ring. If the question says describe, that's your cue to give the what, a quick definition plus a bit more detail. Easy. But if it says explain, now you have to dig deeper. This is where you bring in the how and the why. And finally, if you see justify, you need to put on your lawyer hat. You're weighing the pros and cons to make a final, conclusive argument. And here's a brilliant little trick for any question that asks you to justify. Whatever you do, don't give 2 points for and 2 points against. A 2-2 split makes your final conclusion look kind of weak, right? It's like you can't make up your mind. Instead, go for an uneven split, like 3 pros and 1 con. It makes your final statement so much more powerful and convincing. And here we are at our fifth and final tip. And honestly, this is the one little detail that separates a good answer from a great one. It's something so many students forget, but I guarantee you, the examiners are always looking for it. We're talking about perfecting significant figures.
Let's clear this up once and for all. A huge mistake people make is confusing significant figures with decimal places. They are not the same thing. Here's the only rule you need to remember. Look at the numbers given to you in the question. Find the one with the fewest significant figures. Your final answer must have that same number of significant figures. That's it. That's the rule.
And let me be super clear, this is not optional. So often that very last mark in a calculation question is just for getting the significant figures right. The examiner literally checks that first. It's such an easy mark to get if you're paying attention, and such a frustrating one to lose if you're not.
Okay, deep breath. We've covered a ton of ground. So let's do a super quick recap of these 5 keys to success. Think of this as your pre-exam checklist to run through your mind.
Okay, let's lock this in. 1. Memorize your color test for those easy marks. 2. Connect your concepts to show you really get it. 3. Always show you're working in calculations. 4. Pay attention to those command terms so you answer the right question. And 5. Match your significant figures to the data in the question. Got it? Good. Listen, you've put in the work, you have the knowledge, and now you have a solid strategy. So walk into that exam with confidence. Take a deep breath, trust yourself, and just show them what you can do. You've totally got this. Fundoo Tutor is a personalized learning platform that helps students succeed in Cambridge, IB, and other international curriculums with expert mentorship, structured learning support, and engaging resources.